students, this is the second video where we are studying the lesson book review Swami and Friends by R.K.Narayan. In the first video, I explained to you what exactly a review is. And I also informed you about the book that is being discussed, that is Swami and Friends, and about the author, that is R.K.Narayan. Now, in this video, we are exactly going to say which points have been discussed by the reviewer in this lesson. So, as I told you, he don't want to spoil the fun. He don't want to disclose everything, almost everything about the book. So, he is just giving, he's just pointing out some of the aspects of the novel. Now, what is the title of the story? What is the title of the book? Swami and Friends. So, who is Swami? Swami is actually a 10-year-old boy. And it has been described how he is. He is actually described as mischievous, a little bit naughty, as usually the children in this age group are. Actually, name of Swami is Swaminathan, and he is addressed as Swami throughout the novel. He is addressed as Swami. What is his name? Swaminathan is his name. Now, he is mischievous little kid of 10 years. He is 10-year-old, and the story, where is the story set? Always remember, whenever you are reading a book, you should know what is the time period in which the story is set. So, this story is set in India, pre-independence era, means when British was under the rule of when India was under the rule of Britishers. Okay, at this time. And where is the story set? The story is set in Malgudi. Now, what is Malgudi? Have you heard the name of Malgudi? Do you know a place? Malgudi? No. Why? Because there is no such place as Malgudi. It is a fictional place. Fictional, imaginary. Fictional, imaginary. Now, fictional is imaginary. Now, writer usually takes this liberty. He sets his own grounds where he set the story. So, this story is set in pre-independence era, when India was under the rule of British, and the story is set in a fictitious town named in South India, which is named as Malgudi. The novel has been it is so popular that even a TV series serial was there, and it was very, very popular. Okay, now he lives in Malgudi, and Swami and Friends. I told you Swami is a mischievous kid of 10 who is 10-year-old, and friends. Who are exactly his friends? The friends mentioned in the story are actually 5. Who are those 5 friends who are mentioned in the stories? Mani, then Shankar, Samuel, and we have Rajam and Shankar. Okay? Mani, Somu, Shankar, Samuel, and Rajam. These are the friends mentioned. These are actually Swami's friends, his group of friends whose exploits have been discussed in the novel. Now, I think that you might have understood who is Swami. Swami is Swaminathan, 10-year-old boy, and his friends, 5 friends mentioned. Actually, names are not given in the lesson, but I know you must be eager to know who exactly are Swami's friends. That's why I mentioned the friends. Mani, Shankar, Somu, Samuel, and Raju. Okay? Now, as is usual, Swami is a mischievous kid and who cannot sit at one place, and he doesn't like school. I know many of you don't like school. Even Swami doesn't like school, and most importantly, he doesn't like math. Most of the students who usually like languages, they don't like math. So, with Swami, what is the case? He doesn't like math and he doesn't like his school. It is absolute nightmare for him. What is a nightmare? A frightening dream. What is a nightmare? Nightmare is a frightening dream. Now, a dream in which you are just, it is very scary, you just get up, all means frightened and scared, okay, kind of that. So he doesn't like school, it's almost a nightmare for him, and the story is about this kid and what is happening in his life. He usually gets into trouble and gets a good beating from his strict father. Now he is very talkative, and as usually children are, he is very talkative and he thinks in his own way. Now what he wants to do. Now this story is set in pre-independence period, and so at that time there were no mobiles, there was no television. So what usually children of this age used to do, they used to be on ground playing under the sun. So he was the same. He wanted to play, he wanted to climb the tree and break something or trouble someone. He took much, he enjoyed doing all these things. And typical Indian boy has been mentioned, has been characterized in Swami. Now, just they want to do what they want to do. They want to enjoy as is with most of the children. Now, Narayan gets deeply into the working. What is the speciality of R.K.Narayan in this book? That R.K.Narayan has described Swami and his thinking in a very, natural way. You don't feel like a grown-up has written the book from Swami's perspective. You feel that Swami himself is thinking and he is himself describing everything. So, he has explained how a child sees the world, how a child sees different things happening in those, at that time, independence struggle was going on in India. So, even that aspect has been touched, and it is seen through the eyes of Swami. How he sees all these things, what goes on in his head. Okay, now as the story progresses, you grow with Swami. You understand things through his eyes. You see things through his eyes. Okay, and that's the magic of R.K.Narayan. Whenever a book review is done, not only the story is discussed, just some aspects, but even how the writer has dealt it. How he has written it, whether he has been successful in handling the topic is what is discussed. So here R.K.Narayan is certainly successful because he has written the story from the point of view of a 10-year-old boy, Swami, and he has been successful in describing the story in that particular way. Okay. Now what is the significance? This is what has been discussed in the book. You see in the review, the reviewer never disclosed anything in detail about the book. Not any incident he has mentioned, nothing he has mentioned in detail. He wants to make you curious enough to see exactly what happens in the life of Swami. Now, we will discuss the significance of this book. Why this book has been given so much importance. What is the speciality of the book? Now this has to be discussed because it is one of the aspects of reviewing a book. When you review a particular book, you have to talk about the strength and weaknesses of the book. So in the next video, we will discuss the main aspects of review of this book. Do watch the video to see how the book has been reviewed in this lesson. Thank you.